Hellmaster EX. This award-winning system features the first single-engine joystick with digital electric steering and new autopilot capability. See Hellmaster EX in action at a Yamaha Outboard dealer or visit YamahaOutboards.com.
Dave Anderson here with the Fisherman magazine. It's December 19th. These are your headlines. We had the big striped bass decision this week. We'll talk about that. Also have some somber news of the passing of yet another surf casting legend from New England. And on the fishing end of things, we've seen a lot of great fishing happening south of Block Island on the headboats, fishing for various bottom species. Stay tuned for all that and more on this week's New England Fishing Forecast.
The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
Now, until December 31st, Tsunami is giving away a Salt X waterproof backpack when you purchase a new Salt X2 reel. With its 19 seals and machined aluminum frame, the rugged Salt X2 can conquer any fishing condition you may face. Check out the QR code for all the details.
Before we begin, we've got a few news items for you guys. We'll start things off with the striped bass decision. I sat through the entire meeting on Monday, and it was a long meeting with lots of twists and turns, but ultimately the decision was made to take no action. If you're wondering why this is, they felt that the science was incomplete. They wanted to put in a full stock assessment before making a decision, and so they're going to push it off until October of 2025. So for all intents and purposes, everything will remain the same on striped bass. You've got a slot limit of 28 to less than 31 inches, and you have one fish per angler per day. If you want the full blow-by-blow, you can read Jim Hutchinson's editorial on our website at thefisherman.com, or you can duke it out with whoever you want online. But that was the decision, and that's what we're looking at for 2025. Next, we're going to talk about some somber news, and that is the passing of Janet Messineo. Janet was a surf casting legend. She was a vineyard derby legend. She was also a wonderful taxidermist. She did a lot of writing for various publications, from the Fisherman to the New York Times. And she wrote her own book as well, which is a great read. But above all that, she was just a really great person. And you know, if you ever had the pleasure of meeting her, you would almost undoubtedly agree with me. She was immortalized in Robert Post's amazing book, Reading the Water, which is also an amazing read. And you know, I just wanted to kind of pass that out to the New England fishing world, because she was a fixture in our world. And she was also a bit of a pioneer of, you know, women sort of taking a step into sport fishing, especially, you know, on an independent level. Just a great lady, and I just wanted to acknowledge her here. Next thing, we are going into the holiday season here, and we've got, 5 days of shopping left, and I want to encourage you all to, you know, go and spend your money at local tackle shops. If you're buying something for your dad or your grandfather or your son or your daughter or your mom or whoever, the angler in your family, or your friend that's an angler, going into a tackle shop is going to be a very different experience than, you know, going and buying stuff at a box store or doing it online. And the reason for that is you're going to walk into a room full of people who are obsessed with fishing, and people who work at tackle shops are obsessed with fishing gear. So when you walk in there, you're going to go in there knowing that you're going to get the best possible advice for, you know, matching a reel with a rod or picking out lures for a certain technique or a certain species. These guys are going to make it happen for you. So, you know, go and spend your money locally. Hit up these tackle shops, and we're going to check in with a few of those now. A few of the ones that are open through the holiday season, and most of them are going to stay open through the winter. So here they are. One of those great tackle shops is the Huang shop, and that is out on Cape Cod. It's one of the biggest tackle shops on the Cape. They have a plethora of expert anglers that work there. And they cover everything. I mean, you can find gifts for almost anybody there. You got apparel, you've got tackle, you've got rods and reels, you've got kayaks. You definitely want to stop by there. Open all winter long, servicing the guys that are, you know, fishing the Cape kettle ponds and all that stuff. Just an awesome store. Check them out.
Come to Surfland Bait and Tackle for your holiday shopping. Lots of clothing, tackle, gear, and our custom gift bagging. Merry Christmas.
What's going on, guys? It's Connor with Red Top. Happy holidays. Come get your last minute shopping done at Red Top or online at redtopinc.com.
Hi, I'm Christian. Welcome to Sportsport. Happy holidays.
From our family to yours, we wish you the greatest happy holidays. Enjoy it. Come shop with us here at Crafty One Customs in Portsmouth, Rhode Island.
Hey guys, Declan here from Breachway Bait. Happy holidays. Anything you need for Christmas shopping, feel free to give us a call at 401-364-6407, or you can visit our online store at breachwaybait.com and get gift cards there, and we're still well stocked up for any last minute shopping. Thanks again, and happy holidays from the Breachway Bait crew.
Hey everyone, crew from Fisherman's World here. Come shop with us this holiday season all winter long. Merry Christmas.
The season of gift giving is here. Why not share the gift of fishing that lasts all year long? A subscription to the Fisherman magazine is just that. 12 glossy print issues and 26 weekly digital issues delivered to your inbox. Plus, weekly reports and full access to the website, and you're automatically eligible for the Dreamboat Challenge with your chance to win a new Steigercraft powered by Yamaha. Visit thefisherman.com/subscribe for that ultimate gift.
And the last thing, of course, is the giveaway, which is ongoing. Photos have slowed down quite a bit. I'm seeing a few here and there. I'm chalking it up to holiday shopping, but definitely get out there and take some photos and get them in to me at danderson@thefisherman.com, or text them to the number on the screen. And I just need the pertinent details: who caught the fish, where it was caught, how big it was, that kind of thing. And we're going to be giving away on this round a flat glide needlefish made by me and some NLBN paddle tails. This one's going to wrap up on the last Wednesday in January. I believe that was January 26th, but I didn't check before I started the video, so you're just going to have to look at a calendar. But that gives you, 5 weeks to take a great photo. I don't care if it's freshwater, saltwater, holdover, or caught on vacation. Get them into me, and we'll see who wins. Moving over to the reports now, things have slowed down quite a bit reports-wise, especially from the northern end of our region. A lot of really cold weather this week, and I didn't hear a single report from Maine or New Hampshire. I know that there has been some walkable ice in interior areas up there, so that's one little tidbit you can take. Now let's jump over the border, and we'll start things off with Kevin Hoang from Surfland Bait and Tackle.
Hey guys, Kevin from Surfland Bait and Tackle. The Merrimack River, guys, is still catching carp, still catching pike. There's been some jumbo yellow perch caught on night crawlers, live shiners, and then if you want to do some artificial little jig heads with soft plastics, been doing pretty good for all those different types of panfish. But in my opinion, I would try to get out on one of the party boats out of Sadbrook or out of Lynn and target some of those big pollock that people are been jigging for. And at Surfland, we got lav jigs, diamond jigs, and we got an assortment of teasers for all the ground fishing needs. And then if you would like, if it slows down on one of these combos, you would drop clams and then on a big old bank sinker and just wait for the bite. But attached will be some pictures from my buddy Chris that's been out on Eastman's catching some jumbo sized pollock. So see you next time.
Now we're going to drop down to Boston Harbor. We're going to check in with Danny Parma from Fish Bucket Sport Fishing.
Thanks, Dave. Dan checking in with this week's report. I haven't had a chance to do much fishing in the Boston area since the boat came out of the water. Right now I'm just, kicking back, doing a little preventative maintenance, getting the rails cleaned up and ready for the next go. This is a good time to do that. So you're not waiting till the last minute. I did do a little bit of fishing in the Merrimack River area. The smallie bite seems to be doing really well. I did hear from some guys smelt fishing. I guess the Hull area is doing pretty good with smelt, and I did hear some guys in the Beverly Salem Sound getting smelt. So it's what we got this time of year. If you're looking for a game in town, that's just about it. But you know, hopefully we get some party boat trips coming up. We got some hard water trips. Get out there, do some ice fishing. But stay safe, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.
They're not. Oh, Todd! Toggy! Oh, battle 4.
Now we're going to head inland and we're going to check in quick at Wachusett Reservoir. With the really cold weather this week, I didn't think I was going to hear a report, but then we had these days like today, a couple really nice warm days with very light wind. A few guys got out there, and the word on the street is that the fish moved a little bit deeper, and live bait was working a lot better than lures this week. So those are two little tidbits you can take away. But if you're traveling to Central Mass for the holidays, or if you live there, you got 12 days to put in a little bit more time at Wachusett, so I would recommend taking advantage. Heading back toward the coast in the Plymouth area, I got no saltwater action out of there. I just heard a few headboats heading out for pollock, and that's about it. But the freshwater fishing's going on all cylinders. I've seen some really nice largemouth bass taken. Seems like jerkbaits are really coming to life right now. And the trout fishing's been very good. And those, as always, extend out onto the Cape. I have not heard any particular place that's been good for the bass, but I know Hamblin Pond and Peters Pond have been very good for the trout, along with a few of the ponds inside Nickerson State Park. So, and as we've talked about in the past, you know, stock trout give you the opportunity to fish for them however you want, because they're reactive and they're aggressive. They're not instinctive. So whether you want to do it with artificials or live bait, you're going to get it done. Heading off Cape, I haven't heard about anyone doing any mackerel fishing in the canal. I haven't heard about anyone togging or anything like that in Buzzards Bay. It's just a few guys bass fishing, you know, in the cranberry ponds, you know, throughout Marion and Rochester and those places. And then, you know, a few guys doing some trout fishing in that area as well. But overall, it's mostly freshwater at this point, and that's what I have for you guys in Massachusetts this week. Crossing over into Rhode Island, we'll start things off with an East Bay report from TJ Kopecky.
Thanks, Dave. Hey guys, I got a quick video here, fastest 3 minutes, in the East Bay and a little bit of South Coast of Massachusetts of fishing. And as we know, I mean, things are a little slow around here. We did have ice this past weekend. I made several attempts to find a couple of places that at least I could get into, but it seems that most of the places that are best to fish right now are some of these estuaries or tributaries off of the saltwater. My friend Todd checked in with me, and he did some fishing way up in the Taunton River. It was a little pond that was actually fed by the Taunton River, which was a little brackish water, and he did well on some panfish up there. And there's a couple other spots up in that south coast of Massachusetts that would probably be good. Sonnet Bay should be great right now for a white perch bite. I'm going to try to get up there this weekend, pending this really cold front that's coming in. Hopefully the bite is on up there. And other than that, East Bay, it's been kind of quiet here. And, you know, it's just things that come. And this weather's been up and down. I was hoping to get a couple reports from some of my guys about, you know, a bass bite that sparked with this, you know, 60-degree weather that we had on Tuesday. But I didn't see much. I didn't get any messages. So I'm just going to assume that's a little slow right now, and we know that. But, you know, we're in the doldrums of winter here, and I guess the worst is yet to come, you know, with January and February. But, hey, there's always something to do when we're not fishing. And for me, I'm building D-hookers for next year, cleaning all my reels that are saltwater, but I don't use. You know, I'm writing out my my Christmas wish list of what I want for Christmas for fishing needs this year, and you know, et cetera, et cetera. But going forward, I just think we're going to get into that winter mode, and there's no safe ice out there, and I know they're calling for some really cold temperatures the upcoming weekend, but guys, there's no safe ice. Don't get on the ice, and don't risk it, especially being close to the holidays. You know, it's just not worth it. But from the East Bay, we'll catch you guys next week. Tight lines.
In Rhode Island this week, we had this really harsh cold snap, and it seems like it took a lot of boats out of the water. In fact, it seems like just about every rec angler has taken their boat out at this point. So I did not get any new TOG reports from any recreational guys. The only thing going on really to speak of on the saltwater side is head boats. The head boats have been heading out south of Block. They're getting pollock, they're getting codfish, they're getting sea bass, and they're getting some TOG. The bite has been solid from what I've been hearing. And on a day like today when it's flat, calm, and light winds and warm, I mean, it would be an awesome trip to take. So I would keep an eye on the weather, and when you see that window come up again, it looks like we might have one. We got another cold snap coming, but it looks like we might have another one coming up at the end of the week, right after Christmas time. Might be worth hopping on, getting out there and filling the freezer one last time. So that's probably the most exciting thing happening in Rhode Island waters right now. There's been no striped bass to speak of up inside the bay. No one's been fishing the surf from what I've seen. Another thing that's been going on though is the largemouth bass fishing has been picking up. Jerkbaits during the day, and then still some good nighttime swim bait fish to be had. In fact, had this really nice fish shown to me by Jeff Sullivan. And while we're on the subject of Jeff, let's check in with him with some bass tips. Here's Jeff.
What's up, Dave? What's going on, guys? Jeff back to the weekly video. So this week I'm going to talk to you guys about what I've been using, and that's the infamous Ned Rig. Ned Rig is a great cold water bait. It's my bait of choice right now. For the past 2 weeks, I've been just netting fish up left and right off the bottom. Here's the packaging, actually, that I can get a look at them there in front of me. The Z-Man Elastec soft plastics there. These bad boys, these will catch you fish all winter, all spring, and sometimes in the summer. At least in the summer, there's so much more else you can throw. The Ned Rig's just mostly effective for me in cold water. Not saying it wouldn't work in the summer, because it absolutely does. But that's what I use in the cold weather. With that being said, there's all sorts of shapes and sizes. I mean, you have your Elastec, it's durability. You guys know now the Elastec is just durable. If you're fishing for teethy critters, got it covered. But it's buoyant too as well. So when this jig head sits on the bottom, it stands straight up, and it's so subtle and entices bites. You can hop it off bottom, you can swim hop it, you can pop your rod tip up, snap your rod tip up, and sits right back down, so it's always in the face of a fish, and that's what you want. You want to be in the strike zone at all times, because a lot of fish, they sit down on the bottom and they just sit there. They just huddle up, especially when it's really cold, they just huddle up and they don't really want to move, do much that day. Here's your fix. If you even a subtle bite, or if they're roaming around, they're just grubbing on bottom, here's your guy, here's your tool right here. Even in the spring and the summer, especially in the summer, you get a crayfish bite. This is a perfect crayfish imitation. It's just an awesome cold water bait. With that being said, the hooks are very light gauged. Actually this one's pretty strong, but you have some of them, the Ned heads, have a thinner gauge wire hook, so you don't want to set the hook to the fences because you will bend the wire out. So it's meant to really do a light hook set and reel. These hooks are very sharp. They will keep fish pinned, I promise. But I have this gear dialed into exactly what I want with Ned Rig. So you have to have the right gear, because if you don't, you'll have a very, very long day. With that being said, I have a 6'6" to a 7-foot medium heavy, or a medium rod. I'm geared more towards the medium side. This is the medium rod right here. You just need something with a stout backbone, not too stiff, stout, and really sensitive tip, so you can really feel it at the end. This is actually a custom rod, but it's a medium. Yeah, and I have that paired with a 2500 Shimano Ultegra and 20-pound Power Pro. So this is what I have. It's dialed in. I may throw a swim bait or two on it, or a spinner, but it is perfectly dialed in for a Ned Rig. And you have to have the right gear for that stuff, because if you don't, then it's gonna be a long day, and you want to make sure you have it right. With the Power Pro, I actually have a 10-pound Seaguar or a J-Fluoro or Yozuri fluorocarbon leader. Fluorocarbon of your choice. You know, my choice is J-Fluoro. I like the J-Fluoro. It's good stuff. You know, and yeah, that's really it, Dave. I just been Ned rigging and catching whatever eats it, you know, because it does catch them all. So if you guys have not tried Ned rig yet, the Z-Man soft plastic is the way to go. In my opinion, it gets bit, it saves days in the water, and it's a fun way to get bit, guys. So, hey, maybe for this Christmas or holiday season, that Fisherman in your family might give you some Neds. You never know. They're not expensive. So, all right, guys, if I don't see you, or if I don't hear from you, have a safe and happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Merry Fishmas, Happy New Year, and Happy New Gear. All right, later.
Now let's head to the middle of the state and we'll check in with Captain John Lee from JL Charters.
Hey guys, John Lee, Point Judith, Rhode Island. It's officially winter fishing. Not only is the air temp cold, but the water temp's now 48 degrees approximately, and that's just making things like winter. So we had that big southerly gale maybe 5 days ago, and then it came hard west. So the boats that were able to get out before and after that have done okay. There's been some surprisingly good catches and then some slow fishing. Today, Wednesday, was beautiful, light and variable. So a friend of mine went out, he spot drifted pieces. So he hit some boulders, would catch a few cod, move, hit some more boulders. He said it was never great fishing, but they ended up with some good fish. Tautog, codfish, and a few sea bass. The sea bass, especially the wreck keepers, are definitely south. They're in 140 feet out south of Cox's, south of Shark. So you can still get them up on top, but it's thinning out. The tautog are, some boats are catching them one day and then not really the next. So the tautog are starting to lock up for the winter time. The codfish, I don't know. You run out there, you're going to catch a few. I don't think you're going to catch a ton of them. So we'll see. I haven't really sniffed out those macs. I'd like to get a couple more mackerel trips in. What I heard, that hard westerly had scattered those mackerel schools. So we'll see. Yeah, we could be into the winter doldrums here. Anyway, get your shopping done. Take care.
And now going out along South County, the only thing I've heard about is a little bit of holdover striped bass action up inside the tidal rivers, up inside the tidal ponds. You know, it's more of a hunt than it is a fishing excursion. You know, you're going out there trying to find fish, but the guys that are finding them are doing well when they find them. So if you've got the hunt in you, it's definitely a viable option. Haven't heard of anyone togging in the western end of the state. Haven't heard of anyone doing any sea bass fishing other than the aforementioned head boats. The last thing I did hear, I heard from Larry Thompson again this week. He said he was up at Meadowbrook Pond and he said there were a lot of trout around. The bite was tough, but he did get one, hooked and lost another one. And you know, overall, he said it felt like a spring day. And you know, there was a lot of activity. Fish were just a little bit finicky, and that's what I have for you guys in Rhode Island this week. Crossing the border into Connecticut, it's pretty much all freshwater or holdover striped bass at this point in the Nutmeg State. Most of the holdover guys that are fishing the eastern half of the state are doing it in the Connecticut River. Connecticut River is a really unique fishery because you have striped bass, you've got pike, you've got pickerel, you've got largemouth, smallmouth, you've got all kinds of panfish, and they're all kind of intermingling in certain places. So just getting up into these coves, getting up into the tributaries, you do a little hunting around with your fish finder on, you will find some piles of striped bass, and when you find them, the bite can be very good. You know, just keeping it low and slow with a paddle tail or something like that, and you will find your fish. Heading up into the freshwater portions, the northern part, pan fishing's been very good in places like Chapman Cove and stuff like that. And for a little bit more on all these fishing opportunities, let's check in now with Rowan Lytle.
Hello everybody. So the bipolar conditions kind of continue on the Connecticut River. We had a big bump in flow and the river got pretty muddy and high. It has since receded quite a bit, and through this week the warm weather caused some decent bumps in some fisheries, but overall things kind of remain slow, and with a dramatic cold down coming this weekend, I don't anticipate much of an increase. We shall see if this cold down, which looks pretty substantial at the moment, is enough to freeze some of those coves. I'm a little skeptical. If you do try and go out after the first couple days of really frigid temperatures, be very, very careful. Make sure you have a spud bar and check the thickness of the ice. But I don't anticipate things freezing over well enough to really safely fish, so I wouldn't encourage going anyway. If there's any decent open water available in the coves, there should still be a panfish bite, and the pike could feed as well, though it's mostly going to be a live or dead bait bite. But if you do get out, good luck. I don't anticipate the fishing being great in the river, but it's always worth a try.
Now we'll head back down to the mouth of the river and we'll check in with Captain Mike Roy from Reelcast Charters.
Hey everybody, for this week's fishing report, this is a good time of year to do maintenance. So what I always do is I go through all my plugs, clean out all the boxes, just because rust and corrosion builds up on a lot of the lures. So I typically change out all the hooks on my plugs, split rings if they're corroded, clean them up, so everything's ready to go for next season. Same thing with rods and reels. You can see I have all my rods here. I pull the reels up off of them and clean them up. Another important announcement, February 22nd, I'll be at Mohegan Sun with George Pavaramo for the National Saltwater Sportsman Series seminar. So check that out, mark that on your calendar. Thanks.
And now we'll jump over, stop in Westbrook, and check in with Matt Stone from Black Hall Outfitters.
How's it going, everyone? Matt from Black Hall Outfitters in Westbrook here with this week's fishing report. Into the tail end of December here, so we're kind of into schoolies in the creeks, holdover mode. You can throw some hair jigs, some soft plastics. Paddle tails or weightless flukes tend to be the go-to, as light as you can get them, so you can go low and slow with them on the retrieve. You're also freshwater, trout and salmon up for grabs, fly, spin, center pin, whatever you'd like to do. Freshwater, cold weather stuff, always slow, jerkbaits, hair jigs, things like that. Good panfish this time of year, crappie, perch, white and yellow, things like that. Good luck.
Probably the most consistent fishing we're finding in Connecticut right now is the trout fishing, whether you're hitting the TMAs, whether you're hitting a stocked pond, or whether you're going up to the crown jewel of Connecticut and fishing the Farmington. The trout fishing has been very good and seems to be on the rise, especially after all this rain improving the flows. And for a little bit more on that, we're going to check in now with Derrick Kirkpatrick from Connecticut Fish Guides.
Hey Dave, coming to you from the Farmington today. As you can see, we got a little bit of snow. Water temps are somewhat mild though, not super cold. It was cold. That got definitely the fish into feeding pretty good in order to pack on some pounds for the winter and post-spawn, which we talked about last time. So currently, on brighter days, your Hendrickson nymphs will be active along with some midges and some of your distinctus or winter caddis. Jigging is always a good idea, and fishing streamers and stuff like that. Fish definitely want that caloric intake to pack on again, the weight for the winter. Your overcast days, definitely more so streamers and jigs. Although, pay attention to bugs. If you do have bugs on overcast days, they can feed quite well. But you're not going to have the sun spike, or as drastic a sun spike that you would normally have, the temperature spike, on a day where the skies are clear. So that spike can really get the bugs moving around and get the fish feeding. Back to you, Dave.
And the last thing that's pulling a lot of angler interest is, of course, the Housatonic, which pulls anglers in from all over New England and New Jersey and Pennsylvania and New York. You know, it's It's the most famous holdover fishery in the world. That's irrefutable in my mind. But the bite's been good, and I think I've seen years where it was better, but it's been good. You are going to run into some crowds. Nighttime guys are getting bigger fish. The daytime guys seem to be doing better for numbers. And for a little bit more on that and some of the other things happening in the western end of the state, let's check in now with Max Finch from Fisherman's World.
Hey everyone, Max here from Fisherman's World with another local fishing report. This past week there's been rumors of people catching some herring, so anglers set out to try. We've been selling some sabiki rigs. We heard of a couple taken near the Pastime Club on the outflow. Another spot, the Shies Cove Marina, and then across Norwalk River, the tidal part behind the Maritime. And then the Housatonic, you know, it got real good this week, especially upriver. Downriver has been a little hit or miss, but there are some nice fish to be had downriver. You just got to put your time in. Fishing places north of the Merritt, remember, you do need a freshwater license. And then leading up to the end of this year, the Saugatuck Reservoir, we saw some really nice smallmouth, and we saw some nice walleye. No big trout, but you still got until the end of December to fish it. Thanks and good luck, and I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas.
And that's what I have for you guys in the reports this week. Hopefully it's going to inspire you to get out there in between your last minute shopping and all that stuff. Don't forget to shop local. And another thing I want to tell you guys is that we have gone up on our subscription price. We went up from $29.95 to $31.95, so it's, you know, just $2. But just want to make sure you guys know that, and also that, you know, if you are looking for that perfect gift and you're kind of scratching your head, but the person you're fishing for is a fisherman, definitely consider a subscription to the Fisherman magazine. $31.95, you're going to get 12 paper issues sent to your house. You can get 26 digital editions sent to your email. You're going to get all the digital back editions. You're going to get access digitally to our other editions as well. So you're going to cover the entire coast with your $32 investment. It's the best $32 you can spend in fishing. Check it out and see what you think. But if you're still not convinced after all that, at the very least, give us a like and subscribe here on YouTube and hit that little bell thing right there so you get a notification every time we post something new. I appreciate you guys for watching, and we'll see you next week.